Fucking rip.
That's a fucking cat for you. Fuck with them, they fuck with you.
Yeah. Are you okay, Holly? Did the face hit you? Are you okay?
Giving them a little tease.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I am sad. What do you need to go?
Oh, our faces aren't showing up.
Let's see. This is not that video with the stab.
I still prefer the classic Omaewa. And look at Lester now, Blademaster himself.
Yes, sir.
Oh, how far we've come.
I don't
Love to
know
see
how
it.
to do that start an activity thing. Because I am Discord illiterate.
I'm just straight up illiterate. So
Super bright.
all right, so everybody's
What's up?
Yeah.
the lefty god. Oh, Fox, tell him who you are.
Hi, I'm Blademaster Apprentice Fox and the unit Kodos.
I am Sir Blademaster Arden, the Sons of Terra. And it's gonna be a good show tonight. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna watch videos. We're gonna watch and learn how Ragefire cuts motherfuckers in half. And you guys are gonna all learn how to do it with flair and grace, but not as good as him. just so we're clear, it's impossible. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna have their left hand up, okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So start up. Ragefire, you want to talk about who you are, what you've been, how you got here,
How
what you're
did I
seeing
get
for the
here?
future?
Oh, that's a lot. I guess I don't know. I've been fighting for 13 years now. Yeah. Actually it's a little over 13. We started a game called Watts that was like a offshoot of Amp Guard. And I didn't really fight red till we switched to DAG. DAG kind of was more appealing because there was like no meta in Watts, or like people didn't really like. It was more like about like how you looked when you were fighting and like how much fun you were having, and like it was definitely like anti-meta and anti-competitive, anti like get good. So it just was kind of like a dead end. But definitely I've been fighting red since 2011, so a little over 10 years, 12 years at this point.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You didn't get any good head bonks in Watts?
Yeah, but I was
good
fighting
bonk?
sword and board, so it doesn't really count.
I don't know why in my head I just see you as you are now, back in
Yeah.
Watts, and just absolutely just making people have a really bad time.
Yeah.
In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah.
I want to go bonk people.
You think?
Yeah, your closest Watts practice. No, there's lots of Watts in Jacksonville still, if you really want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just gonna hit me in my big nose and make it bigger, so I don't want to do that. It's like when you think about going to like a nudist beach, you're like, oh, I'm gonna see a bunch of hot people naked, and it's really just fat old people. Like that's
Yeah.
that's kind of how that's kind of how I feel about going to like
so,
Watts.
so as someone who used to work at the beach, even the regular beach, it happens more than you think.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Fucking rip.
Awesome. Ugh.
So Ragefire, are you naturally lefty?
Yeah, everything left-handed.
Everything.
Yeah.
Means you die quicker than the rest of us in real life, though.
Oh
remember
shit.
that. Yeah, I'm pretty
true.
sure it's like scientific.
Probably.
I could have made it. I could have just made it up. I don't know.
It sounded believable to me.
I think it is. So you've
Yeah,
you've been
natural left.
left-handed naturally.
Yeah, when I swordboard, it was left hand too, which is why I hate it because lefty swordboard sucks. You're just hand matching.
Can you fight right-handed at all?
Red a little bit, but it's more like to do stuff with my left hand on bottom, like wraps or like stabs, like to take my hand off. Basically, I've tried some stuff to like learn other people's moves and then try and reverse engineer it, but I really don't, to be honest.
Gotcha. Cool. I tried to do the lefty red a couple times to learn it. Like I can fight lefty sword and board, but I can't fight lefty red. So it's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That's weird.
I'm gonna learn it though. It's gonna be my 2023 goal.
it's a good goal.
Yeah, all lefty
Start
all the time.
start over.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna die like 3 years sooner than everybody else because of it.
I actually did I had to do a meditation class for college. It was part of my minor.
Oh,
And
what?
yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty dope.
And for an entire week, we had to use our less dominant hand for everything. Brush your teeth, use your mouse, everything. So I had
Everything?
everything. I had 4 practices that week. So I fought lefty board, lefty spear, lefty red, and I sucked.
That's what
And
they say
then-
to do. Is
Mhm,
to
and-
like open doors and like brush your teeth with your
Mhm.
non-dominant hand and stuff.
And the idea was to help you balance yourself and like learn and connect yourself. And I did it for a whole week, and I did the best I could. And at the end of the year, they're like, okay, well, do another one of these weekly practices. So I did lefty again. So another week of losing at practice. And then I had to write a whole report about it. And for me, it let me realize that, oh, wow, my left hand's bad. And since then, I've been trying to do more stuff on my left hand. And it's becoming a lot better to be ambidextrous in that sense.
I don't even know.
Like what?
I
How do you
dominant is
tell them?
yeah. There's
I
like a-
like
That's wild. You probably did that.
yeah. I'm left eye dominant.
wait, hold
also.
on, wait a second, hold on. Say that again. How do you do it? Yeah, like
Oh my
this.
god.
Okay.
Hey, Damon, your audio's screwed up. Yep, people can't hear you.
Oh shit.
All right, so what Damon was saying is that you make a circle in your hand and you look forward. You close one eye. If it stayed in place, that's your dominant eye. If it moved, that's your less dominant eye. So
I'm
I'm
right
left
eye
eye.
dominant.
I'm left eye dominant.
I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, I don't, and
I learned something.
they use it for
And-
guns a lot. That's all I know.
Ooh, I can shooty pow pow now.
Yeah,
Fuck
you should
yeah.
shoot pow pow.
Fuck yeah. John Wick, here I come.
So go on. Let's hope so. Hey, chat. Can you guys hear Damon now?
Have some chat, boys and girls.
Damon, say some words.
No feedback yet.
Yeah, no feedback. I don't know.
That would be pretty good.
No.
Just spend the whole. Hey, we can't hear him.
Yeah, no. I'm getting a no go.
Fuck.
Hear anything?
You don't hear me? Not Damon? Okay.
That's
Well,
wild.
as long as we can hear Ragefire, that's what's most important, but Damon's still important though.
That's weird.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. Well, Ragefire, um, let's talk a little bit about lefty fighting a little bit more. When
Okay.
you're fighting against other people, it's always opposite for how a righty fighter would perceive a fight. So when you go into a match, do you? I guess for me, how I'd explain it is like a lefty is used to fighting righties, while righties aren't used to fighting lefties.
Yeah, that makes
Do you,
sense.
do you try to use that to your advantage, or what's your thought process against when you square up against a righty?
Yeah, I think you can use that to your advantage, like just baiting people outside. Like if you're fighting lefty, it's cold on the outside, but if
Mhm.
you can bait people, but I think you can also fall into trap as a lefty as coasting on like a few, like abusing the fact that people aren't used to fighting you, and then you've been fighting for like 5 years and you know like 3 shots. So it's better to fight people who know that and will counter that, because yes, you can abuse that fact, but it becomes a crutch, I think.
That's fair.
Explain to like chat like what it means to like fight on the outside and kind of like what you mean by like that kind of. I mean, like it seems kind of simple, but let's assume that a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't know what that means.
So like if you think about like inside and outside lanes, like inside is like inside of your hand or guard, like inside of your arm or your sword towards your body, and outside would be that targeting the outside, like your shoulder, your forearm. And to me, I want the inside because it's really easy to block outside as a lefty. You can watershed and counter to the inside. And most people or righties are throwing outside because that's just like your standard baseball swing into that side, but it's into a really easy block that you can bait. And it breaks the fight down into like a really really easy to digest like manner. It's just like if this happens, then I do this and it's over.
So you're saying like if you're in a fight, if it's righty versus lefty, you're wanting them to swing towards your outer lane so that you can get a good block and work down from that block into that inside lane to
Yeah,
throw on
I
their
want to
bodies.
be inside so that like like if my sword is on my outside, like blocking my outside, then their whole body and target area is their swords away from that. My sword's between their sword and blocking their target area. And now my sword has a quicker shot to beating them back to their defense.
Right. I've always kind of lived by the you want to try your best to always have your sword in between theirs in some way, just because that's your only method of blocking. Um,
Absolutely.
and so that's a real good way of kind of like breaking it down of what to do. I fought Datsun a good bit when he was in Jacksonville, and like that outside lane is not where I want to be fighting him at all. Like he will eat my cookies up by just if I swing that outside lane, you can guarantee it's gonna be blocked and then just chop 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 chop.
Yeah,
So yeah, cool.
for sure.
Do
Yep.
you go ahead, Damon. Sorry.
Said I got the mic working, I think. So
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, chat selling you're back in business.
Cool.
All right. Awesome. No, I was gonna say, what do you think gives you the most trouble? Like what I guess like what style of like right-handed fighter kind of gives you the most trouble? Is it the people who just stay away from that outside lane, or is it a certain like block like defensive setup? I know I kind of fight left foot like goofy stance against
Yes.
lefties. So I'm just kind of wondering like what kind of gives you the most trouble?
Yeah, well, specifically red versus red is like the thing I feel least confident in. And yeah, if people know not to fight the easy route and we're both like fighting inside, then it's sword fighting. Like then it goes beyond like a two-step fight. It's it's way harder. Like people who will take the outside, who will like drop their sword down and out, and they're like, no, I'm taking the outside first. I'm not gonna bait on it. Like Fox will do it. Fox knows to not do that. Like that kind of thing. Like like I will always drop my sword down and out so that I'm like outside lane, but it's kind of a bait stance, I guess, but it's still to take the outside lane immediately. And if somebody else does that, then it's like we already like fought in our heads that we both know that the outside is bad. So we're skipping that part and we're
Mhm.
going right to the hard part, which is everything else
Yep.
besides the easy shot.
See that right there, like that explanation of stuff is to me what separates exceptional red fighting from like your average red fighter. Like yeah, I think you have different types of people like when they come to like sword fighting, you have people that throw shots that they just because they know shots, and then you have people that understand like why and when to throw stuff. And
Yeah.
like that explanation right there is like cool, I want a certain thing and therefore I'm going to fish for different reactions and depending on what they do is how I'm going to change up my shots. I think people that
Yeah.
just kind of go up and throw a combo without really any kind of, outside of just like, playing around with some newbie that
Mhm.
you're going to smoke. Like,
Right.
I think that like that is what, sets apart like exceptional red fighters. And I think there's one thing that people take away from like red fighting in general, like listening to this is to like understand stuff like that, like why you throw certain shots, why you go to certain areas in a fight, and understanding what, makes it strong or weak.
Yeah, for sure. And even to add on that, like for up until like Hellcores came around, you could be a counter fighter and never swing first, and just literally, if you were fast enough and had decent reads, you could like win all your fights by counterattacking. And so when really fast swords became the norm and everybody was fast and you couldn't counter because you had to make more reads than react because even new people are fast. I think that was hard for me to fight where you don't always have initiative, to like where it trades more. And also just anybody who resets range like a Vias, like somebody who's going to, or Dozer who resets bad situations constantly. That's hard for me to fight because once I get initiative, I like to like keep the gas pedal down, and if we can swing trade, I'm very comfortable like blocking and exchanging. But if it goes to like somebody like getting out of range again, then it's like that is what I struggle with for sure.
Yeah, cool. Very good. What's next, Fox?
Very good.
Yeah. So keep on keeping on. So as a Blade Master, Ragefire, why don't you tell us about Burning Geo and what it means to be a master of that or an apprentice for other people who would be interested in it?
To me, the style was definitely about, well, it comes from Star Wars, Geo does. And it was about taking dark energy and reflecting it back at people. And to me, that just means knowing what your opponent wants to do, sometimes letting them doing and then countering it. It's about really understanding fighting, making good reads, and also just being like super aggressive once you turn back on them. Like I said, keeping the gas pedal down. Like things that are important to me are like things that look cool, like spinning or like fighting multiple people is also very important. I like fighting outnumbered a lot. That's definitely part of it. So, yeah, back shield pretty much exclusively in Burning Geo. Although Bacon's kind of the exception right now, but and I've even messed with it. But yeah, it's about like aggression and stuff, and like trying to do stuff, maintain stuff that looks cool and is fun to do, but still be competitive and have a reason to do it instead of just like doing Dragon Twister and like hoping it works. Like there's actually like thought behind it.
Explain what a dragon twister is.
I don't even know. That's just
Oh.
that's
Because
Secret
I'm
Julio
I'm
technique.
curious.
Yeah,
that's just
that's for the
we'll
after
make
show.
the yeah, right. We'll make that one up.
Secret technique. I like that.
Yeah.
now, Ragefire, for someone who might be inspiring as maybe they're a lefty red fighter, someone looks up for you, what is something that you look for in an apprentice?
I look for people who want to red fight not because it's been meta or that it's good, but because it's really fun. It can be one of the more fun things, and because it's such high risk reward that like you'll probably respawn 10 times because of like archers or spears or poles or whatever. But like the few times that you do go on like a 5 kill streak or like kill like a really good sword and board 1-on-1, that you live for those moments, like the glory that is in between like getting shit on. So that and a lefty, I mean, I think that's kind of become my place with Blademaster too, is lefty, because if I wasn't lefty, I would probably just be like a clone of Avias and Dak. Like, it actually kind of helps to be lefty. Like, I would just totally rip them off even more than I already have. Like, so I like to help those people, because you watch like a video and it's like, oh, none of this applies to me because I'm fucking holding my sword backwards. Like, so because I went through that, so I'm trying to make it so that other people don't have to.
To be fair, all red sword users are kind of clones of Evias in some way.
That's fair. That's fair.
All roads lead back to Ephias. That's just
Yeah.
how it is.
That is true.
Right on. Cool.
Alrighty. And so in Florida, we like to refer to Ragefire when he's all by himself as being in hero mode.
Oh god.
How like I see you do it all the time, just like it's like 1 versus 15. How do you do that?
We used to do this thing in Watts at practice called One Man Wolfpack, where it was like everybody at practice would just go after one person. And then obviously you would die. And then you would be like, and now is your turn. And you weren't allowed to run away. And we just, it was just something they came up with. But I always liked fighting multiple people. I tend to like, I've heard a lot of people say that when they like line fight, like with the red, they try to like break it down to like 1v1s. Like, you draw out a 1v1 and then you move it. I don't think of it like that. I think of it as fighting everybody that I can reach with my sword. I'm fighting them all at once. And I try to think about what will happen when I swing at one person. I know it's going to elicit a response from somebody else. And you try to figure out who that more likely is to do that. The person who's more likely to reach you first. Because as soon as you swing at one person, you have to respond to that and not the person you're fighting. I think I call it bouncing. It's not a very cool name, but I think about bouncing between people, and you kind of have like a flow chart in your head of like, this person's going to attack me once I swing at him. And then this person will have caught up to them because he just killed my last teammate and he's running over. So I can swing at him to stop him from swinging at me. And the first person's getting over the fact that I hit them. And now we're back to the first one. So I think about it like that. I try to fight everybody at once instead of making it into 1v1s, so that I always have initiative.
I think that as you get better at foam fighting, you almost develop this like sixth sense of like, what other people are going to kind of do by looking at them. Like, I don't know, but I mean, pretty much anybody here that's on this podcast probably has the sense of like, you can look somebody in the eyes and be like, oh, they're about to charge at me, especially if it's a
Mhm.
boardman. You're like,
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't fucking do
Yeah.
it.
No.
Yeah, you definitely can make reads like that. And I think I've always said that our community is small enough that you can remember certain people and how they fight, and you should. Because even if there's like 400 people at Winter War, like, you'll remember them after going to Winter War 2 or 3 times. You'll be like, this guy does this guy does this guy does that. So
Yep,
I
this
just
guy's
try and
left-handed.
remember all exactly like that kind of stuff.
Hey, that's
Is
good.
there anyone that's like, oh no, I just don't want to fight that?
I mean, it's not that you don't want to fight it. It's like if there's a field battle and there's a dude with like an 8-foot glaive and a buckler, you have to jump on. It's like jumping on a grenade. It's like, well, I'm gonna run. It's gonna take me way more effort to kill this dude than it will be for him to kill me, and I'm probably gonna die because he's standing next to like 2 other people. So it's like anything like that or a spear where their offense isn't immediately counterable, because a spear can stab you and you're just going to airball because they have range. You have to commit. So anybody you have to commit on, you're either going to commit and like break the line, or you're just going to commit and die. So it's kind of like those situations I try to avoid. I try to like fight like sword and borders or other short reds.
Feel like you'll see a lot of high-end red, you'll see them floating a lot. Like they'll dip in, do their damage, and then dip out because it's like you don't want to have to sit there and fight the 8-foot spear because to get to it, you're gonna have to, be in a lot of risk, and it's just much easier to be like, cool, I'm gonna let the archer shoot that dude. I'm gonna go mess up like 4 or 5 sword and boards down the way.
Yeah, exactly. And if you met a certain person, like any high tier sword and board, I try not to pick out where they can't break range, or they can, I mean, like, or if they can choose to close, it's like way easier for them to kill you because they will always be able to move forward faster than you can run backwards. So like anybody like Bell or Braun or Aiden or like anybody like that, fucking um down here would be Picnic. It's like why pick that 1v1? Just like that guy, because that 1v1 is so much harder to do with a red, with a sword and board. Like it's an uphill battle.
Dude,
N-
that
Now,
you
now,
just
Rach, I'll tell you that in Kodos, my job is to make sure that you can't go fight those people, so they can do the damage. It's like
That's
so
fair.
I'll just square up with you with a buckler and a 5-foot. And it's just like,
Exactly.
okay, just Fox, go deal with Murray, go deal with Ragefire, go just. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Cancel each other out.
Yeah, I'm getting beat up.
you say Aiden, and I went to the Albion muster this weekend, and me and Aiden kind of like, because like I don't want Aiden to get. He was on the other team. I was like, I don't want
Yeah.
him to get around and like kill other people. So like obviously I have to square up against him. And like
Mhm.
he had a javelin, and I just fought him like 10 fights in a row. I was like, God damn it! I remember how much I hate really fast like strap shield borders.
Yeah, dude.
Because it is so fucking difficult to like just you can't back up if they're quick on their feet. Like it is very difficult to backpedal and like do stuff. So
It's
but
hard.
I would still prefer that over fighting a red. I'm just saying that out loud. Don't care.
Yeah.
Fight me. Like
I like fighting sword and boarders more than reds.
me too.
Oh, I prefer
Which
fighting
people think we're
reds.
crazy.
I prefer
See,
Yeah,
fighting
no,
reds.
I like fighting reds.
See that I don't feel like a lot of red fighters feel like me and Ragefire do because most of them are like, I hate fighting borders. I love fighting sword and borders, but they are the
I think it
difficult.
I think it's because it's harder almost, or it's like it's not even that it's harder because fighting a good red is hard. It's that it's so much harder. It's like a Dark Souls thing, It's like their passive defense is insane. Like, and you can leg them, but if you're like 1v1, like you only do that so many times, then like, all right, fuck this. I'm fighting somebody who's not gonna make me get up and down all day. So you like cool. Like if you feint out a border and pop their shoulder without breaking their shield, that's satisfying.
Oh yeah.
That's what you like live for more than just like stabbing some red sorter who like just bought it yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've I think it's fun too. Is like it's kind of you can use the Dark Souls kind of like example. It's like a border is kind of like the skeleton. It's like they're gonna fight you pretty much the same way every fucking time, but they
Yeah.
still kill you. So it's like you kind of you know what they're gonna do. Oh no, I'm gonna tuck in tight and rush you. Cool. I know you're gonna do that, and it still kills me like times. So
Yeah.
it's always like a fun like you never know what to really you know what to expect, but you never can handle it properly every single time. So it can be frustrating, but makes you
Yeah,
better. I think.
absolutely.
So if we're going on, so last podcast we talked to Rothgar talking about like the beginnings of the BOR and a little bit of the order. But we want to talk to you about Ebonlight a little bit more.
Okay.
As the quote unquote red unit. Figured if you want to talk about what it means to be the leader of Ebonlight.
I've always said that Evanlight is just a unit where we help people to be the hero of their own story. It's just about self-improvement, like in any way, not just fighting, but like physical fitness or like mental, just anything, like literally anything. We probably have somebody who can help you do it. That's why we have like our trials are pretty hard because it it should mean something when you take a trial. It became the red unit by default because of who was in charge of it. Like Jack and Dozer, do you just birds of a feather? You're gonna attract those people. That's why like the fucking Sons of Terra has so many fucking good sword and borders because like, hey, who's that guy? How'd you do that? Come over here, talk to me. Like, you're gonna attract like-minded people. So I don't think that was ever the goal. It just happened like that. But it's definitely the whole core of the unit is self-improvement, and you can do it like at your own pace and in your own way. There's like archery trials, like the trials are catered to what weapon you use. Like we've definitely like tried to make it more friendly towards other things than reds. through trial and error.
Well, as someone who sees most of Eben all the time, it's definitely seen the self-improvement. Like seeing people from the beginning when they just become civilians into full-blown sentinels. Like it's a dramatic change.
Oh,
Just
I
their
appreciate
growth.
that.
Yeah, no, you guys did an awesome job.
I think the trials are also like super like inspirational to watch. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's definitely like a spectacle. Like that's something that
Mhm.
like I always try my best to just kind of like sit to the side and just kind of watch and see somebody, really push themselves. 'Cause I think you become your strongest when you're put in like a uncomfortable situation. And it's definitely uncomfortable to have some of the Evanlight boys chasing you down in like packs of 2 and 3. So definitely think it's good to watch, and I think everybody else also looks at that and can go, "Oh, that's something like I want to be able to do that." So I'm sure it's
Mhm.
very inspiring to watch.
Yeah, appreciate that. I mean, as much as I do like tournaments and field battles, like anybody doing like a night trial or a unit trial, I think that those tend to be more personal. And because usually you're pretty good friends with the people in your unit as opposed to whoever it may be in a tournament. So like there when the emotions come to the forefront, I feel like they become a little more special. Like it's pretty rare at our trials that somebody isn't crying. Like not usually because they got hurt or because they failed, but because like they passed or they're watching somebody, like you said, dig down and like find out like what they're really made of.
Yeah, it's really cool to see some of those guys, push into that like that next level because you can see it too. Like sometimes they'll be, I've watched a lot of you guys trials like over the years, and like you'll see that person that's kind of losing, and you'll hear like some of their other like teammates, screaming out like, "Hey, come on, man, you got this! Like, do this, you dig deep," and you'll just see them kind of like get that look on their face of like going into that ultra instinct mode. It's like, all right, let's finish this shit.
Yeah, dude,
It's
for
really
sure.
cool. It makes you want to like get up and fight too. Like as somebody that's
Yeah.
like not in those trials, watching those makes me go like, let's go to the field. Let's go
Yeah.
throw down.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, dude.
let's go.
Totally get that.
Are you doing a warden trial at Orc Wars?
I actually just found out recently Orc Wars is off the table for me. I've
Oh man.
got some pretty huge personal shit going down, or that I have to be. It's like literally that week. It was kind of a
Dang.
bummer, but no, I'll be doing Warden Trial probably the next big event, maybe Geddon or Winter War.
Okay.
Nice dude.
Yeah.
You want to explain warden trial real quick for people who don't know?
Oh yeah. So you're in a box. It's 20 by 20. You spawn on one side. That's actually yeah. You spawn on one side. There's a line of 5 people on the other side, and their side is actually narrowed down to like 10 feet, I believe. And there's a
Is it
line of scrimmage.
like a pizza shape?
Yeah, it's like a piece of shape. It's so that when they come in, they can't like spread out easy. But there's a line halfway that and nobody can cross until you step across it. If you go out of the boundary, you're dead. 3 points of contact on the ground is dead. You can use whatever you want. You can wear armor if you want. If you wear armor, though, if you're taking the trial and you wear armor, they can wear it. So you're kind of like opening the door so a lot of people won't do it, so that a sword and border with armor doesn't come in. Like if you're fighting sword and board, then it just becomes like a ridiculous fight. But basically, every 20 seconds, somebody comes into the ring, regardless if you killed the previous person. And this goes on for 25 minutes. And if you get all 5 of them in the ring, uh, the next 20-second timer is a strike. If you get 3 strikes, you fail. You can respawn unlimited times. You can change your weapons, whatever. If their limbs carry over if you limb them in the box, but you have to last 25 minutes and keep the ring clear. At least don't get 3 strikes. And then after you pass that, you and somebody else from the unit who you picked, or your battle partner, you go fight other pairs in the unit, and you have to fight. You have to win 10 times, and you're like probably dead at this point. So the person watching you gets to like get like turned up after watching you get your ass kicked for 25 minutes and hopefully carry you through the 10 fights. So yeah, it is hard. I've tried it the first time in 2016 and failed out, and I think I tried in 2017, failed out. So I have like a pretty long history with this trial. So It's hard.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, it is.
for
It's
sure.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's rough, but I believe in
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
dude.
What
So
else?
one thing we want to change up this time is to actually do a video review. So
cool.
Damon's got some short red tournament set up. We're gonna pull it on screen real quick. While we
Yeah,
do
the
that,
transition.
we wanted to remind you guys that do the YouTube things, like, subscribe,
Yeah.
write a
Comment.
comment or two, tell your friends
Comment.
about it.
Share it.
Yeah. Share it. Like, subscribe,
Oh.
comment, whatever.
You gotta. I
Upload
thought
it
about
to
this the other
Pornhub.
day. You gotta. you gotta red the subscribe button, stab the like button, fall over, go back to spawn, write a comment.
I like
All right,
that.
that's fair.
Alright. Well, let's get
So-
this ball rolling.
So I think the way we'll do this is we'll kind of like go through each kind of fight, and then we'll stop it, kind of let it rage, kind of talk about some of the stuff, and we can all kind of put input on it. But we can stop it, I guess, after every fight, and if anybody's got input, we can just kind of take it from there.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah, especially whenever there's a lefty or a Ragefire on screen. You should
Yeah.
watch that real good.
All right, so this is Winter War 2019 short red. So that's what, 5.5 foot and under.
Yep.
Right? Or is it
Yeah.
6 foot? 5.5.
No, they were
5.5.
doing 65 back then.
Disgusting.
Oh yeah, Vic was at this one.
Oop, I see tips up.
I
Don't
know,
like that.
dude. That's the first thing I noticed.
I hate
Don't
it.
do it unless you're baiting it. But
Yep.
I
I've been harping
guess-
on that pretty hard in all of our videos. I'm like, put the fucking tip out in front.
Yeah.
So we got Flint and Sevic.
Is that, yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Holly's fucking in the comments.
God, tip's so high.
Yeah, I usually tell people like if somebody has their tip up and you like can get any kind of initiative, just don't stop. Like they literally like have to commit to left right defense at that point. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're fucked. Like just go, just get like break range if you can safely and fire away.
That's actually a really good point of left right defense. I didn't think to explain it that way, but yeah, like if they've got that tip up, they're really that's all they can do is just block left, block right. Like
Exactly. Like you can even cover your own initiative into that with a stab because that's going to be hard for them to block, and then just fire because it's such a bad position.
We got Savon from Boca, and I don't know who the other guy is in the blue and green pants.
I cannot tell. I can.
I think Savon's using a min red though. He's outranged.
Yeah.
But that tip up, like you were saying,
Yeah. That dude also did something at the beginning of the fight that I'm trying to get myself and other people to stop doing is when you break range, you pull your sword back. Like you need to cock back and swing, and you leave yourself so open. And if you're off, like right there, see, he got lucky. He blocked it because Savon like threw right then. But you're literally like, there's no reason to do that, and I don't know why so many
Oh, I
people
see what you're
do.
saying.
Like I do it too, but you're literally like throwing your defense out the window when you're closing, unless you're doing like a exaggerated feint. I think. Like if you have a reason to do it, that's fine. But a lot of people do that out of habit when they break range. They're like cocking a shot back, and you don't need to cock back with a carbon sword.
Yeah, the closer you get your hands to your body, and like that kind of that is the less defense that you have. That is less room for error.
Yeah.
So it's like keeping those hands out in some way helps. But you can see right there, like sword tips straight up, hands are real close to body. Like
Yeah.
Even trying
Yeah,
to
what-
block his left side would be hard because he'd have to go around his head.
Yeah.
when I changed from like wide grip on a sword to close to hand grip, it forced me out of that habit because my hand up here would make no sense to block anything.
Yeah,
so
that's
I've
fair.
started to really have it more forward and block things. So that's my biggest suggestion for people who want to do that. But having your hands close together on a flat blade, in my head, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it's preference on your sword type too. I think blue and green pants is using a flat blade.
Now, blue and green could have turned that when they had their sword up. They could have pulled it down into like pulling their hands closer to their body and then went for a stab. But
Yeah, stab would be
that's how I would have seen that would have been a pretty good
great. Mm-hmm.
recovery from it because it kind of baits them with their hands being so close. It kind of fakes out their range. They go, "Ooh, I need to close and throw," because their
Mhm.
grip is real close back. But then you can kind of bait them into a stab. But yeah, we got some confusion on the field.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know who's won what, but we're gonna find out. All right, so a little bit better about sword tips out.
Oh, we lost
Oh.
Fox.
Rip.
Just another red or dead. There we go.
Just another head. Been scuffed the entire time.
Oh, look, now I'm back. Every time it just fucking does it. All right, now I'm back.
There we go.
I'm sure it messed up YouTube also.
Yeah, you're back. It's
Yep.
normal
Yep, Ragefire's me. Yeah, okay.
now.
It's fine.
There we go. Wow, it was cold at this one too.
Yeah, it was.
But if you wanna skip ahead a bit to get some more variety in. Yeah, it seems like we were stuck here for a while. We got Aiden
Says-
versus Mist.
Aiden doesn't red.
No.
he doesn't.
It
He
is.
just stabs people.
That was a
Oh.
good
He's
shot.
quick
That
though.
was
He's
the-
quick
yeah.
though.
It's quick. With his
That's
feet.
that's the
It's his
exact way
feet.
you should throw that cross. And then he went for the
It's-
leg. That's a good play.
It's single
Yeah.
sword, but with two hands.
So like essentially what he did was he crossed his body and then immediately threw into a watershed because if you cross your body, their return is going to 100% be to that open side. So
Yeah,
the thing you should
absolutely.
do is pull it back. And then when he got that arm, you notice he went for his leg because the best thing that you can do is go for that fucking leg. That's an easy win. You just have to hit one more limb at
Yes.
that point. So that's a smart play. Please.
Yeah, in tournaments I tend to snipe arms because it's
Yeah.
just safer.
Yeah.
Break the fight down. Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
So when somebody does that, and oh, never mind. He actually. I thought he missed the stab.
They
I
missed
say,
it.
if, oh, okay. I say if somebody misses a stab on you and you stand there, you just gave them their turn back. You should floor it. Like if somebody misses a stab, no free lunches. Like get in there and punish their mistake. Like
No free
Well,
lunches.
They also take their hands off the red in most cases for that stab. And
Yes,
anytime that
it's-
hand comes off the red, they're at a disadvantage, and you
Yeah.
should definitely.
Yep. You can even hit it and in the way that they did, mess
Yep.
up their retraction of it.
He just went for a double stab and
it's also interesting because, Mist's primary sword and board also.
Yeah.
Yes, that was just a good crossover.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally don't like crossing over that much with the red, but that's because I'm terrified of getting my hip eaten alive.
Mm.
If either of them would have went goofy, they would have came out cleaner.
Yep.
If you're gonna cross, switch to your left foot forward.
Is this Fox?
that is
Yeah.
Fox.
All right,
Yeah.
let's talk shit about Fox.
That's fair.
This is a couple years ago too.
That's fine.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's me versus, I think that's Sir Loki.
So
Yeah.
I feel like you really want him to throw to your into a watershed. I'm
Yeah,
wondering
if
that's
if
what
someone
you're gonna do.
watersheds at me, I kill him.
Yeah, because you've got your guard kind of horizontal, so that tells me you kind of want him to do it, but then you switched it over. Pressure.
Yeah, didn't take your foot off the gas, dude.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
held the initiative, and and then when that happens, it's down to the other guy's footwork and understanding of fighting.
Yeah, and he
Yep.
just clammed up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, there he is.
There we go.
We got the man himself versus Vic.
Get that leg.
Yeah,
all right.
both lefties.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How'd he get- Oh,
Yeah,
thought
you
hit
got
your
me.
dead leg.
I
Mhm.
tried for like a reach. Oh, it is dead leg.
Yeah.
I always forget about that shit.
I thought you were gonna take it. I was about to be like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, you committed too hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't lose that unless you kind of throw. Like just don't close.
Yeah.
Play that range.
You
Yeah.
just gotta hit something. You just gotta hit one thing.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good.
It's a good thing about Vic though. He really likes to keep his sword really in front,
Damn, chomped him
but
up.
now you chop him.
Yeah. Just like a wild cross.
I want to get better at throwing, like, kind of like I don't know what it's called, but you like flip the sword around and cross over your body.
I mean
There's a word
Lester
for it.
calls that folding. I would
Yeah.
say that works. Folding. I like to do that a lot, and took Avias's pickaxe where you slide down and move your body back at the same time so that you kind of maintain or gain range without fully committing your footwork to it.
I like that. It's that's one thing I want to work on because I'm very in and out. I don't really throw a lot
Yeah.
of holds.
I've got Gorg, and then his name escapes me. He's from
Kobang.
Kobang. He's from FGCU. Kobang.
I believe that's his name.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think that was his first event.
Really?
Yeah,
Good for him.
we haven't seen him since COVID though.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
Okay, so cord gets straight over
So
the top.
Gorg had like good initiative, but he's outranging him and he like head forward momentum. So like if you're gonna outrange somebody, I feel like you want them to close on you.
Mm.
So keep neutral or backwards momentum if anything. Like if you're stepping into somebody, you're taking away a big advantage you have. Because that looks like a min, and Gork has like probably a 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Kobang pretty much only use min reds.
Yeah.
And
like,
also tip up, dude.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just light it up. If he's got a min, you got a 65. You really can safely just win that fight. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
this is a public service announcement. If you outrange your opponent with a red, you should be threatening stabs. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
even if you're not throwing it, just putting the tip in front of you, going, "Hey, if you press me, you're gonna be threatened by this." Just puts that much more pressure on them whenever they go to block stuff. They have to be worrying
Mhm.
about it.
absolutely.
And realistically, that's how I would probably fight that one-handed. Was start with a stab kind
Whoop.
of threat and turn
Flip.
it into
Oh
stuff.
shit.
Eat it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, don't let him get up.
Yeah. I learned that from Bill. Don't let him get up.
Knock his fucking knees off.
Check on him after the fact.
I'll take the nice chain off. Dude.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say Mr. Knight over here.
Fuck that. Yeah, I like to see people keeping their sword kind of pointed, at least to a degree, at their opponent, just because it just creates many more options for your opponent to not be able to read. If you just leave it straight up, they're gonna go, cool, he can only chop me straight down and kind of across.
Yeah.
You got that sword pointed, you can stab in multiple spots. You can go for legs from there. You can go for arms, for shoulders, either lane. Like it's just a lot different. So this will be fun.
Yep, we got my
Dozer.
Blademaster Dozer versus Green and Blue Pants.
All right, so let's see. So there's toying around. Notice his blade, like where it's at.
Yep. That's the one thing that Dozer has really good presence of mind is when he gets armed, he doesn't reset. He
Mhm.
just keeps going because so many people get armed and they back up and like reassess. If you can have that in your head, take an arm and keep going, you will catch a lot of people off guard.
That's like one of the first tenets of Iron Grin. Just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yep. It's so smart.
Well, that's the good thing about red. You know, if you got two hands on it, so when you get hit in an arm, you don't have to drop the blade. So
Yes.
optimally, you should be just taking your hand off and finishing it.
Oh, that was a good shoulder. Whoa.
Uh,
What?
hard to tell.
You
Who
switched
knows?
hands? Yeah, that was weird.
And he's probably
I'm
gonna call
just,
it out. Yeah, he's saying
uh,
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this really good feint. Yeah.
Let's go back and be the judges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Feint.
3 years later.
That's shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, if even then it was still his right arm, and then he threw shots to switch hands. Like, I don't know, man.
He was in kind of a fucked position after that, though. He was
Yeah.
standing right in front of the guy, like bent over.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good snipe from Dozer. Like coming down that
Yeah.
lane from that angle is a very
Yeah.
precise. Like has to be on point. You know, he's only got like this much room to hit. Realistically.
Yeah.
You know, and he threw a shot into another one, so he had to throw, see that it was open, and then correct into it. So Dozer's like, he's a cheating piece of shit. He's a cheating piece of shit. Get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude, arm versus leg. How about that?
This is the worst fight of all time for both parties.
It really
Yeah.
is.
It's the worst.
I think the leg fighter has all the advantage, to be
Yes.
honest.
You too.
Maybe if it was like min versus min,
Yeah.
but
Do a red
Now-
grab.
65. Yeah.
Now I will say blue and green kind of has a somewhat of a good idea to keep the momentum of the red going because it's a lot easier to throw shots with that momentum. That's kind of what I would probably
Mhm.
do is use big flourishes and stuff to kind of try to go for fakes. But
Oh,
I would-
the
old
footstep.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
slip.
That messed him up.
Yeah,
It's
that
rough.
ground was so slippery.
I wouldn't kick the red if it's under like 6 foot. If it's like 6 foot or up, you're probably out of
Yeah.
range enough to be able to pull off a dumb shot like that. But
Mhm.
Yeah,
if,
kick
if,
it.
if they're legged, you know, but like probably wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
This is what
So,
Ram
yeah, it's-
Jam and Sevic.
It's Civic, yeah, range.
Rams going for the stab. Yep.
There it
I was
Oh.
like, please stand you standing like that.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
somebody's bent over with their sword straight up.
Rams gonna go for the J hook.
That's I guarantee it. Here it
Oh,
comes.
oh, stab again. Stab
Yep.
again.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
$10 on it. Yep.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
I think he
wait.
went in between his hands and his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
'Cause he
still wants it.
stepped-
He wants it so bad. Look,
Yeah,
he's
so bad.
All right, so Sevic, what Sevic should be doing is really
Goddamn.
manipulating his sword. Like he only got
Yeah.
one arm on it. He could smack the shit out of that, and that's that whole fight right there.
Yeah.
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 Ram's got that strength, especially with his left hand.
Like anytime somebody's got like just one arm and they kind of hold the sword out to the point where you can kind of manipulate it, like you should
Yeah.
smack it. And then you know it can only
Yeah.
come in one direction. Like if he smacks
Yeah.
that sword that way, you know that it has to return that way.
Yeah.
I don't like the way Sevic is standing.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, that's like a very much like I'm gonna block whatever you do and then close.
Yep.
And with that tip up, it's such a gamble to do that.
He also seems to be going for very short, weak chops, which not a huge fan. Bam.
The reach.
It was risky, but it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ram always said if he's in the red team, he's just going for them stabs. Yep, he even posted
That's
it.
smart.
Yep. Like fuck you.
Ram's like, what?
What? Fuck me. What did I
Fuck
do?
me.
When and where, baby?
Kind of confused as to what.
Yeah,
what-
just keep skipping forward until you figure it out.
Oh.
He's like, hey, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
got Blademaster
Malkin is
Malkin.
he's the pinnacle of keep your sword tip up. That's just kind of
Yep.
how he
That's
Yeah.
fair. He made his whole style on that.
but he's gonna chop straight down. Watch.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's not a jab. That's just kind of how he does it.
I'm just trying to bait him to throw a shot, and so I can engage.
Yeah, you really want that watershed really bad.
Yeah.
I feel like you really want him to throw straight down. You're gonna watershed it and cross
Yep.
body kill him.
Just hit me right in the dome. How about that?
Yep.
Does he really?
No.
Oh, okay. It's rough.
But, I mean, he's
No.
gonna wait for you to throw. He's gonna really.
Yeah,
want you to
I'm just
commit.
like trying to fuck with footwork a little bit. Oh, and
Yep.
I missed my timing.
Okay, so he threw it and kept it low. So he probably wanted to stab after that.
He doesn't stab.
He doesn't stab?
No, there's a video of
No.
him stabbing, and it was like a no quarter treasure.
No quarter treasure.
Oh, that was.
Uh,
Did he hit you?
I
Let's say
blocked
you
it,
had-
and I got stuck. Yeah,
Oh, because you like had it.
yeah, I did. I had that big horizontal block, and
Oh,
I was
that
trying
was
to get
it.
in there. I got
Alright.
stuck. Yeah,
Rip.
I think I got too excited about blocking.
That's funny.
He's got quick. He's gonna have a quick returns because that's just
Oh,
the
he
way
does.
that bonuses or benefits from it.
Oh, that's a good one here too.
Okay. So it's Ragefire and Dozer. Okay.
This is after he moved from Alabama, right?
This is like like a year after we came back. Yeah, he tried. I think he tried to cross first and got caught
Yeah.
and took an arm.
Dozer has such exceptional footwork. Like
Literally,
Very-
yeah, like
like if I could tell you one of his his best strength, it's that. Is like he
yeah,
will weird
absolutely.
fucking angles on you. With exceptional like swordplay.
Climb at each other.
Ooh.
That's when like the lefty versus righty that always happens. You just hit each other in the hip. You're like, well,
Yep.
fuck.
No, it's like every single fight I have with Holly, just bacon
Yeah.
every time. So Simo.
So he's fighting you with his hip forward. I'm noticing that.
He usually he doesn't lead with Goofy because I think he knows that I know
Ooh.
that he's going to do it eventually.
Oh no, your
But-
glasses.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
sure-
actually threw a really good shot, but it hit my leg. Unfortunately.
You got a really good crossover kill on his
Yeah.
hip. It's very good. Who needs to see? Not you.
That's fair.
Do this shit with my eyes closed.
Just feel it with the force.
All right.
We got the Sword Lord Rothgar and now Blademaster Lester. Lester
Okay.
with the big sword is so weird.
It's weird.
God.
He's setting up though. He wants to rush it. He
Oh,
wants it
yeah.
so bad. Yep.
Oh,
Oh, it's so
Void.
weird not seeing him do that. Okay.
oh.
Keep swinging. Keep swinging.
He got
reset.
caught.
Yeah.
Oh, they both took an arm.
Oh, he does. Is he still using? Maybe it's a 5 foot. Maybe it's not 65.
So Rothgar wants a stab or a spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think Lester's trying to like handle block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when he or do the same thing. Oh, that
Oh.
Okay. that was
That'll do it.
that's
was
our
good.
critical defense, dude. The
Mhm.
pommel caught it. Lester
wait.
like
Oh, he
ducked
blocked
under.
it.
Yeah,
Wait.
he blocked it. It hit his pommel.
That's fucking odd. Like it hit his body. Good shit. Okay. Rothgar really wants a stab. Like anytime somebody's sword is that fucking low, there it is.
Yeah.
Like look
There you
like
go.
with red, like definitely keep your eye on stuff like that. Like if their sword tip's up, they're more than likely going to try to counter chop you when you
Yep.
swing. If their sword tip is like on the ground, they more than likely want you to rush and not see the range difference and go, "Oh,
Yeah.
his sword's down. Let me rush," and then you go running in and you get caught in the chest.
Yeah.
Well, what
For
do you know,
sure.
Ramoan fucking J hook stab.
Ramon and Aiden stabbing each other.
No way. All right, so. Oh, yep. So Ramoan set up. He definitely wants to stab. I think Aiden wants to go for some strike. Yeah.
That was good on Aiden's part.
Yep.
He defended that really well.
So weird seeing them fight red.
Xander talking shit to everyone.
He's like, you guys all fucking suck. You,
you,
Especially
fucking
you.
suck. Especially you in the red fucking beanie.
Yep.
Aiden's like,
do
I
suck?
suck.
we got a volunteer.
He's like, okay. He's like, okay.
I think they gave Aiden a bye.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
No, you versus Malkin.
Rage versus Malkin. So this should be interesting. right. So we kind of know what Malcolm's gonna do.
Yeah.
And Rage definitely sees it.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is.
Yep, there it is. Good shit. I think the key too with fighting Malcolm is to just kind of once you get the gas, you just don't let up on it.
Yes,
Yep, yep.
because if you reset, he has really good aim, even though you know what he's gonna do. He doesn't miss a lot.
Yep.
like playing Fallout. He just has that
Oh,
that quick
I hit him in the
quick
head.
scan.
Yeah, I think I tried to ride his blade in. I blocked. He went outside, and I tried to go inside, and he like pulled back at the same time, and it just rode it right into his face.
Yeah, I noticed last time I fought him a lot that if you keep your feet moving, it kind of messes him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said. I mean, like Rage has got the right idea. He's keeping that lane to where he's like, cool. If you commit to chopping me, I'm gonna block it and then counter it. And that's good. That was a good little switch up on Malcolm. Took it
Yeah,
in a
it was.
different angle. Yeah. So was that first shot that you threw, Rage? Was that you trying to get him to throw? Like
Yeah,
the shot?
if I ever hit people in the hands, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get you to do like whatever your instinctual like dump shot is. It's like if I hit you in the hands, I'm taking a lane and I'm like trying to get you to do something reactive instead of like what you wanted to do to steal initiative. Like just do your like dump shot and then I'll block that.
Yeah. I call those the safe shots where it's like, cool, I'm not really trying to go for anything. I just want to see how you're gonna react to
Yeah,
it.
you're
And
testing.
yeah. And against like Malkin, who's very like, Counter Strike, that's a very good way to
Yeah.
fade out, Yeah.
Exactly.
Love to see Aiden in Red Finals. Makes me I never underestimate him. I don't give a fuck
No.
Yeah.
how good I am at Red. I'm never gonna underestimate that man. In nothing. All right, so did Luster? Is that the same sword? Or am I just? I guess yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a
Yeah?
reaping blade, like a
Yeah.
stock
Yeah.
reaping blade.
It's a 5 foot, I think. He was talking about it in the comments. The one
Okay.
tournament he
Oh.
was to fight with a 5 foot. Yeah,
It's so weird.
Lester says a 5 foot.
5 flat reaper.
Yeah.
It's just so different because usually Luster's very like forward momentum, so it's like kind of weird to see him like not just getting in your fucking face. Right. Hmm. There it is.
Really good voiding by Aiden there.
Yeah.
Like he didn't bite on any of that. That's Iron Will to not swing.
I think Lester slipped.
Yeah, it is.
That field was rough.
Yeah, that's when
bad.
they put the grass down and didn't set.
Okay, so Aiden wants to stab. Oh, got
He
it
got
too.
it. Yeah.
That's a good takeaway from watching these tournaments is just watch where people's sword tips are at, and you can kind of
Yeah.
tell like that's definitely a stab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at his stance.
Like,
That is
that is
That's
run at me, I'm gonna
spear.
stab you. There it is.
Oh, you still got it too.
that is like a psychological thing though too, because if you're
Mhm.
showing your hand so clearly, that shows a degree of confidence. Or like, oh, he's gonna stab me, but he really thinks he's gonna like land it. So fuck, what am I supposed to do? Like, he's that confident.
I think a good play would be to just like move like from left to right and kind of try
Yeah.
to make sure because like you want him to throw that stab and miss it and then close
Yeah.
and just finish him.
Bait it, like
Yeah.
fake a close, like go in and out maybe.
Yeah. Oof.
He
Okay,
just
that was
went inside.
I'm gonna bet that Aiden's not used to fighting a lefty red.
Yeah.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's very much what happens when you don't know how to fight it. You just get clocked in the hip. All right, so Aiden's on the outside lane currently.
Yeah. Then he got a stab different too.
Yeah.
The
There it
watersheds
is.
fuck you up too.
Oh, I hit him in the glasses, his
Oh.
goggles.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, like I tried to go back after the folds, and it like reverse edged into his head, I think.
right, so dead legs are set.
Yeah, just being
That's good.
nice.
Yeah. So I would be trying to go for some tags on the forearms.
Yeah,
Good read.
yep.
Who won that?
He did. He
He
hit
did?
me with his. He hit me with his second shot. It was a feint.
Okay, I didn't see the second shot. It looked like he
Yeah,
missed.
he
Okay.
like barely clipped my forearm. Yeah, he got me.
All right, so Aiden's still taking that. Well, there's the inside. Oh, that's not the.
Yeah, he did like a wrap shot.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
he took his hand off of that.
Yeah, you did.
Now it's back to two red boys. Oh, I thought you were about to stab the shit. Surprise, loser. So let's see how this pans out. All right.
Just battle for the outside.
Yep.
He end up. I think he double tapped. He definitely got that.
So what happens whenever, like, let's say that happens? Do you reassess and try something different? Or is like what kind of goes in through your mind? When
If I think somebody's gonna go out there and stay there like that, I would rather go to Goofy Foot and try to handle block instead of water shedding, so that if I stay there, I can also throw and defend that area at the same time.
makes sense. All right, so it's 1-1. All right, cool. I will say Lester's got his sword up a little high here,
He's
but
you're gonna
he would
cross.
definitely. Yep.
It's like a baseball swing, but it's a cross.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's good stance. It's a bait.
He's also thinking that sword's a min.
Oh, that's a oof. That's good.
Bonus.
Should we
Yeah.
run that again? Like preferably low, like slower speed if we can. I just kind of want to. That's the win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
All right, so Rage sets up. He does a little pump fake to the opposite side, gets nothing, but gets him to go for that what he thinks is going to be open. That's so
Yeah.
quick, even at like quarter speed.
Yeah.
It's so fucking quick. Run it. Can we do it one more time? I'm pausing it. All right, yeah. So pause it after that first swing. So if you notice right here, he pump fakes over just a little bit to try to go for that shot, and then play it again.
Into
So,
watershed immediately.
Into watershed, which now he's going to cross over. Bam,
Yep.
arm,
Mhm.
and then at this point he's just
over.
already like in the danger zone.
Mhm.
Just finish it. Yeah.
But to like the naked eye, most people probably wouldn't see that first initial. It's just a tiny little pump fake. It's so like so small.
Damn it! Run it one more
Yeah.
time, but let's watch it at normal speed, just so we have an idea like how actually fast it is.
Yeah, there's the pump, boom, bam, bam, bam.
Damn.
So quick. So quick. But yeah, like that. So like you'll notice like that first shot that he threw was that little bit of a pump fake, and it was not a super committed like shot. It was more or less like a hey, I want you to throw into my watershed.
Yeah, pretty much that one to the hands. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So
And plus, you're right foot forward too.
Yep.
Gave you the perfect block. Kept your leg out of the way, but you still ended up tagging it.
Yeah, he got the leg on the second one.
he was trying to fish for hip.
Close. This is like
Close.
real close. Yeah.
Real close. Yeah.
That's real close. Do you feel like you fight the same now as you did in 2019?
No, well, I hope not. I feel like I'm always like trying like to be under construction with your style, like especially from other people, like because like Avias has been doing this forever, but he's like always trying to like push new things. So I really like that mentality of like evolving and keeping it unique to yourself. I don't feel like I fight the same way. I feel like I've definitely started stabbing more. Like I feel like there was not one in that video in any of those fights, but tried to do that for sure. Oh, this is like 2 weeks ago.
Now, one thing I definitely noticed is that when lefties fight each other, it is totally different. So different.
Yeah. Because then you
Dominant.
almost don't want the outside.
Oh, that cool spin.
Yeah, that like hero block. That was a good stab. I had my tip up. I deserved it.
We make shirts that say, "Don't put your tip up."
Yeah.
Tips down, boys
Tips down, boys.
and girls.
Another good stab. But you should stab.
Yeah, stabbing
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like the weird thing is, like, people for whatever reason, like a couple years ago, they just did not stab with reds, and I was like, "What are we doing? Like, let's stab." more."
Yeah.
It's a good smack.
And Bacon keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, get on.
And everyone's favorite fight.
Right? It's like if you're armed, you have to blow so much energy, and if you're legged, you don't want to do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Get hit.
Yeah, I like the use of like just a slight little blade beat to kind of throw off the one arm.
Yeah.
That's definitely an underutilized thing that a lot of people should do. If they're one arm, man, smack that sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rage, something I've been noticing a lot that you've been doing lately, mostly against righties, is that you'll take one hand off your sword to block towards your left hip. Is that something
Yeah.
new you're trying out?
It's been in my head. I've done it before, but I'm trying to use it more. It's like a way to block my outside without having to commit fully with footwork, or like something like a watershed where you're kind of all in on it like a defensive thing. And when you're in watershed, it's kind of predictable what comes after that. So it's kind of like a neutral defense like thing.
Bacon is liking these spins. I'm digging it.
Yeah. We work on it a lot.
Yeah, I was actually trying to do that cast spin at the muster past week.
Nice.
After watching this, yeah.
Is there anything that you're particularly working on here, Rage? Like, I mean, it's obviously like spars. I'm sure you guys aren't going like full bore, but like, is there something in particular like that you're maybe trying to do while you're practicing, like work on in particular?
Against another lefty, to me, like finding initiative is kind of hard because you have the same shots on each other, as opposed to like a righty. It's like weird. Like you both are swinging into each other's handles basically, which is I guess a righty fight. A normal righty fight is you're swinging into each other's strong blocks. So it's like lefty versus lefty. I don't know. It's like trying to find ways to like make that fight like different than like the same clash. Like to go like goofy foot more to try and fight on their outside, which is like a lane I would never do against a righty because it gives them my outside.
Yeah. I I know, like usually, like at least when I spar and just kind of do like red stuff, it's like I always kind of try to like have something that I'm trying to like do. Because like
Yeah,
me personally in a spar, like I really don't care if I win. It's about like trying to fix something that I need to work on or figure out a certain way to handle stuff, and then eventually turning it up. But
yeah.
I'm curious.
I always think that you should not have the goal of trying to win practice. You should go out with like, I'm doing this today, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like, if there's like ditching, whatever. But when you're sparring, it should be with like a goal in mind. Like, yeah,
Cast into a turnover.
yeah, that was good. I feel like footwork is like a ever present thing to work on.
Hmm.
Agreed.
Especially, I never started with like knowing what good footwork was, so there's like bad habits that still exist to try and get rid of.
We'll say that the when she originally stabbed, she immediately pulled her sword back into a over the head kind of like style guard, and like realistically, that's a very good way to do it because if you stab and you miss it, they're probably going to return to your hip, and so
Yeah,
having it up high like that gives you that opportunity to, if they whiff it, you can just bring it down on them.
yeah, for sure. That's good. Yeah, having a defense come up after a move is really good in general. Like,
Uh,
because if it doesn't work, you're not just gonna get hit.
Yep. I
yeah,
think that kind of goes. Sorry, go ahead, Bucks.
no, I was gonna like the cast that Bacon threw into a stab was sweet.
Yeah,
I think again, it goes into like not throwing shots just to throw shots. You throw shots to, you know, have a response to it, and like being able to go, cool. If I stab, what's gonna happen if I miss?
right.
What's gonna be open, and what should be my next step? Not like almost like thinking 3 steps ahead, but also having that plan. Is like, cool. If I land the stab, he's dead. But what if I miss? If I miss,
Yeah,
like think about like what that next step is going to be and where your opponent is probably going to end up. Um,
yeah. There's I think it's two videos. It's Peter the Quick, intermediate single sword part one.
yep.
It's actually pretty old, but it like it's literally just that. It's like this happens, then this happens, then this happens, and he's a really good teacher. I would recommend no matter what you fight with to watch that. I think it was at an Okfest for years ago.
I was actually just thinking of that video as you said it. Like that was what I
Yeah.
was gonna like. It's called predictable returns. I think is kind of
Yes.
like the concept of it, and it's very much in red.
Yes.
It's like if they go on the outside lane, you have to kind of return down the inside lane. Same thing if you're like, cool, if I throw on the outside lane, they're going to return down the inside. If you throw high, they're going to have to kind of return low because they can't get over your guard. Knowing those things, you can kind of predict, where you need to be after you throw shots and kind of develop your own defenses based on it.
Yeah. It's kind of mind blowing to be, or it was when I saw it the first time.
I think that video is honestly like one of the better videos that you can watch on red fighting, even though it's single sword, because
No, I agree for sure.
those concepts, like I can almost guarantee you, if you look at these videos, like when somebody goes outside, watch where they return.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was outside, returned inside. Boom, inside. Like all that stuff, you can look at it like by the book. You can kind of pretty much be where they're going to be. Obviously, like some things change, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it's a pretty good rule to go by. So it's like if you throw outside, you can set your defense up to defend your inside lane because that's where they're more than likely going to have to throw to. So it's all around good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people overlook that video because they're like, "Oh, it's single sword. It doesn't matter." It's like red fighting is very similar to single sword fighting.
It's a single sword with two hands.
It is.
Yep.
It's exactly what it is.
Exactly. There's a clip. Maybe if I post this.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting foundations that translate all over. That's why like people like Bell can do pretty well in a lot of tournaments because
Yep.
he has standard fighting practices that go across all.
Yeah, absolutely. Single sword probably just translates to everything, really.
Mhm.
'Cause it's like the most basic thing besides like dagger fighting, and that's like completely different. Um,
You get the basis of like single sword. It's going to transition into pretty much everything. And, it kind of takes a while to understand it, but like you build, almost like a foundation off of that video, and you'll be very, very, very strong with
yeah,
any weapon type that you use.
we should post that link somewhere
Yeah.
so people.
I mean, I'm glad that you pointed that out because I've used it for years as like a cool. This is something that I think transitions very well to red, but I kind of thought that I was the only one thinking that, but apparently not.
No, Dozer talked to me a lot about that too, because he really it looks up to Peter.
Was it's 9:24? Do we want to? How late are we going? Do like
I'm down for whatever.
say probably? I mean, we could do like Q&A real quick if we want. I mean, it's kind of getting into the 9:30.
Yeah, that's
There we
fine.
go.
So,
I think
first-
Rage doesn't Raph have some videos of you fighting?
Yeah, that's on Sword Bros, I think. Let me look it up. Sword Dudes. That's it. There's video on there.
You got a link for that for Damon?
No, I've got it pulled up already.
You do? All right, cool.
That one versus Rook is a pretty good video.
I don't think y'all realize how much video I actually watch, especially at work.
That's fair.
While waiting for it, Andy's asking, are you allowed to two-hand a blue in a single store tournament? It depends on the tournament. Most tournaments for Dag and Bell are right now, you can use up to a max blue, but I have seen some single store tournaments do up to 36 or even up to 40.
You could use two hands on it if it was even a 32 if you wanted.
Yeah.
They've been allowing max blue and back shield in some sorter board tournaments, and that's been pretty fun to mess around
Really?
with. Yeah,
I
I went
think
to
that's
some
fair.
Tennessee events and they do that.
That's
It was
interesting.
pretty fun.
I think that's cool. I mean, it is a
Yeah.
sword on the board.
I think there was a
That's
rag
true.
where Dak went with a quarter staff and a back shield, and I think he went to the quarterfinals
Yeah,
in sorting board.
you did.
That's
I was like,
pretty
whoa.
awesome.
Sounds
Avias got
exact-
second sword and board doing that one year at Rag, like forever ago when he
Wow.
actually did tournaments. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can post some questions in the chat if you want right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of wind it
Yeah.
down. So feel free to, post away. Keeping Ash on.
I
we're
think
probably going to be doing all the Blademasters first. So it might be a little while.
Ooh, that was
Bacon,
good.
I'm not. Yeah, Bacon's right. Yeah, Rach, didn't you do that at last Orc Wars for sorting board? Max Blue?
I know I did it recently at
Yeah.
some event. It probably was Orc Force. I don't think it was Winter War. I don't
Mhm.
think I did any tournament.
I mean, Orc Wars, that event's pretty loosey goosey. I don't know who runs that, but they need to straighten up.
Something about a Royal Rumble this year.
And then Kit is asking, any videos detailing footwork? I keep crossing my feet like a big dumb. Not necessarily red footwork that I've seen at least, but doesn't mean we can't make it.
I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
something.
I would recommend anything SKBC
Yeah.
for basic stuff because they're only really good teachers there. Really, Brett, Peter.
Yeah.
And
We found
out-
SKPC is going to be in
Yeah.
Tennessee this year as well.
Tennessee this year.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'll
people
probably go.
interested in Red Sword, don't get caught up in like watching just a Red Sword video. Like don't think that just because it's a sword and border, like you can't learn anything. Watch their feet. Like sword and borders have usually like the very top tier ones have exceptional footwork, and it does translate. Like you can use the kind of like stuff that they do to open up shots for the red.
Absolutely.
So
Shoot, I was watching videos last night from Frag 2017.
still think the best video ever made was like the old school Ragnarok trailer. It's like from
That was pretty good.
forever ago. It's like the OG, like, oh my god, let's get hype.
Yeah. This is a
Was it
clip of
Ragnarok?
EXO doing a spin shot in there or something. It's like, who's that guy?
Oof. Oh man, just missed the range.
Yep.
But
I'm glad that Rook is all healed up.
Yeah, for sure. He's super fun to fight.
wish I could be healed up. It'd be great.
One day.
One day. Until then. Oof. Oh man, that's a good retreat. Chop chop, and then maybe if you miss all of them, it's like cool. Let me back out, reset. But as I reset, throw the backspin.
Yeah, I end up finding myself doing that a lot when I cross my center line because it's easier than trying to fight it back across to facing forward. I feel like it would be slower almost.
Yeah, I try to tell people like with spin shots and stuff like that, it's never good to just spin for no reason, but spin shots can also be the quickest way you can get from one side to the other. And
Absolutely.
if that is the case, like that's when you throw the spin. Like if you're out of you're on a weird angle or something, and the best shot sometimes is a spin. It's not just to look pretty; it's literally the quickest way to get from one side to the other.
Or sometimes if you're really stuck into someone, like you're up in their grill,
Yeah.
you can't throw anything. Spin gives you
Yeah.
that force.
Rookie takes the outside a lot, or he threatens it,
Mm-hmm.
which is unique for a righty.
Yeah, he puts his
In
sword out in
fighting a
outer
left-
space.
Yeah. Or he'll like go inside, like he'll threaten like that, but I know
Yeah.
it's just because he's going to come back. He wants to go back out, or yeah, he's doing that. Then now we're both like, wait, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
That was close.
It was really close. Oh.
I want to point out that everybody in these videos and everything has a better beard than me.
Look, man, you're working on it. You're working on it.
Yeah.
Sure. Like I just got done a 9 to 5 shift at the Sizzler.
Still got that car for you?
Gotcha.
What was it? Self-driving pants?
Yeah.
The bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy, this is the 9 a.m. Hollow Marxist practice in St. Petersburg for Balgarth.
Man, that's
So
early.
lazy.
You say 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
The
That's
fuck is
early.
wrong with y'all?
Oh, it's great. Honestly, I love the early practice.
Ugh. Thanks, I hate it.
Well, it's like we fight till noon and then we all get good Italian food together.
Oh, that does sound good, actually.
Nothing.
Yeah, Mazzaro's is awesome.
All right, moving to Florida.
Yep,
been
do
thinking
it,
about
man.
Already been thinking about it.
Oh, I got room.
Hell yeah.
I got a 4-2. Yeah,
Go back to my
that's
Jacksonville roots, where I was born.
great. Were you really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I don't
Ooh,
know.
that was a cool spin.
Ooh, that's great.
Yeah, rewind that. Do that again.
Run that back.
Run it
One more
back.
time.
Run it back.
The instant replay. Woo! Yeah, it's like a weird diagonal rising sun, but
Oof.
yeah.
I like to fight at like noon in the blazing hot sun like a lizard man. You know, get to fight for all of 5 minutes before we all have a heat stroke. It's my best. That's how I get to my
Yeah.
best.
It's not about who
Ooh,
hit each other with
ooh.
foam swords.
Let me just hold on. Run that back one
Run
time.
it back.
Let me just-
Close.
Stop it right, like I'll tell you when to stop it. Get ready. Right there. If
Right.
he would have not, if he would have not hit Ragefire was gonna cut him in half.
Yeah.
Like that was the ooh boy, I see your ribs, I see your sweet meat. Is
Yeah.
coming for it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ooh.
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 Yeah, I know where you want it to stop now.
Look at that. That's fucking Shadow Realm territory.
Yeah.
100% like anime
Goodbye.
screen where this goes death.
No, that's just a new caption for Red or Dead.
That's funny.
Any other questions for people? Your guest to
PJ,
talk with?
yeah, Rothgar thinks that Damon has a Duval tramp stamp.
One day.
Oh!
One day. I did watch a little bit of the Jacksonville game the other day. For sports ball.
Oh,
Oh, oof.
sweet. Yeah, Farron's right. 9 a.m. practice, and then we go to a second practice. So I do that every other Saturday.
What is this guard? Oh, that's
It's stabby stab.
oof.
I will say that Rook is probably the hardest righty red fighter that I've ever fought.
Yeah.
I have a really, really hard time fighting Rook.
Yeah, Rook is somebody who will swing at an opening even if he like will get hit immediately after. Like he keeps you honest on your defenses, dude.
Playing true sword fighting here. No tricks,
Yeah.
just swings.
Just Bruck in the background, just like eyeing you guys.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
They're probably about to call you some kind of slur and then drive off if I could name it correctly.
Ugh. We don't want to talk about the awakening.
Oh god.
I had an old like MILF like tell me to lift up my kilt.
I
yeah?
forgot about that.
Yeah, dude, she screamed it. She was just like, "What's under your kilt?" And I was like, $10, and I'll show you.
Oh shit.
Classic, just cheap. Okay,
Karaoke was good though.
that was fun. We're doing that at
Yep.
Sweet. Make Lester happy.
Lester started it.
Doing that, we're doing casino night.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Like what Dragon Hills did with Casino Night.
Yeah, everyone when you get check in, you'll get some gold coins and you'll use those for casino night and you can get coins or lose coins depending on how well you do.
That's
Yeah, we're
cool.
doing-
We betting on
Yes.
fights.
Yep, we're gonna have fighting and I think Ram, correct me if I'm wrong if you're still in here, but we're gonna have a D20. Each number is a weapon set, so the fighter will roll the D20. Whatever you get's what you use.
And if you roll a 1, you just get a bag of soap. Just beat the
Oh.
shit out of people.
I might be Aaron and Damon. You might be able to correct me on this. I might be dreaming this, but I remember hearing a story when I first started phone fighting that Aiden went to a fight without his weapons, picked up a flip flop, and started using it as a single blue, and smoked the whole line with a flip
I
flop.
remember when I first started fighting, Aiden took my sword from me when he didn't have a sword. I don't know how it happened. He took my sword.
I remember
Let's
my
see.
first Aiden experience. He killed me while eating an apple. So
Oh.
I'm very happy about it. Just eating an apple. Just
Damn. The disrespect.
so much disrespect. Made me better though. Made me hungry. Not for the apple, but for success.
That's how we.
Ooh,
gain
that was
Ooh,
clean.
that was good.
That was a
We're
clean.
rolling that
one.
back. We're rolling that back.
Rewind.
Yeah, let's just say Orc Wars is gonna be
Leg.
ridiculous
Block.
this year. In
Shoulder.
That's so good.
Paste.
karaoke, casino night, Royal Rumble, ooh,
Hell yeah.
Goblin games.
Goblin game.
The
Yeah, I love
best.
Goblin games.
Dude, the rock free for all is the best. Just watching that.
It's total chaos.
Last Orc Wars with the bird mascot costume, pirate bird. That was
fucking
so funny. That was so
Fucking-
funny.
Hate it.
No, it was great.
Does that make you a furry if you wear that?
I don't know. It's a mascot.
If you're a furry, can we get some F's in the chat?
Oh. Been plagued my whole life with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do karaoke, casino night, all that fun stuff. It's gonna be a good time. Any other questions? Anything? Right. actually they're calling out your persona.
Yeah.
Isn't it a bandicoot?
Yeah, no, his original fighting name was Paws.
Damn, Child Blast.
Then it was Fozer.
That is funny.
Hell
I forgot about that one. Nope.
Good stuff.
yeah.
Actually, the fight between you and Datsun in the top, like the middle left, is one of my highest viewed videos for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, it's only like a minute long. Oh, that's a different one. Oh, it's me and Rick. I'm about to die. Oh no, there's a video that I posted like this week. It has like 300 views for some reason.
Y'all
Yeah, it's
just
Fox
all
News.
shitting on Barry.
Not Fox News.
Yeah, it's got 200. The top left. Top left, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I had so many views so quickly. And some random guy commented on it like, "This is the future." I was like, okay.
It's better than the normal comments. You guys fucking suck.
Yeah.
You can't do
Yeah.
that with a real sword.
Yeah, that's the one you always.
I can still fuck your mom though. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is this where his glove breaks?
It might be.
Because that did happen that day.
That
I
did
thought.
happen, yeah. Yeah, Bacon feels the same way.
Oh, switch grips.
Oh. Oh, that wasn't it? I thought that was the thumb.
No, I don't know when that was. The one with the really good trade is in the BOR Discord. No highlights. I don't know what video that's in.
You guys are like feeling each other out super hard.
Yeah, we
Ooh.
fought each other so many times.
You could tell.
Yeah.
It's just like that. Like, let me try to like figure out what you're gonna do because you're gonna try to mix me up.
Yeah. Because I know he wants to stab me first and foremost, for sure.
I went the first fight that I fought against Datsun was in Jack. Well, not the first fight, but like first like time I like actually went up to him and like kind of like sparred and stuff was in Jacksonville. And I just remember him just like eating me alive, and I was so frustrated. I was
Yeah.
like, what the
That's
fuck?
the thumb.
Ooh.
Yeah, the plastic insert in his thumb broke.
I'll do it.
Better than his actual thumb.
Fair.
No, I was fighting him, and like I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then I was like, "Oh, I keep throwing this, and it's just not opening up." He's like, was like, "It'd probably work if I wasn't a lefty." I was like, "Wait, you're a lefty?"
That's funny.
I was like, "Son of a bitch."
So Farron is asking, what's a myth about red fighting you wish was dispelled?
Oh, that's a really good question.
From the man of golden hands.
Cool.
Is that Jacob?
No, Farron doesn't wear gloves and he fights a bunch of red fighters every week.
I don't know how he does that.
Me either.
That's called being dumb.
No, he was
You
telling me
won't
like,
listen.
yeah, like one time he wore gloves and he got more hurt. He told me. I was like,
He's an
blessed.
anomaly.
Wait, what?
yeah.
He
got
wore
hurt more.
gloves and he got hurt more.
Yep.
I would
Yep.
say a myth is that Reds are a support weapon. Like, I feel like Reds have like the highest kill count on the field.
Yeah.
Like, not just KDR, but like, unless it's like a scenario like where you're funneled and there's a ton of archers, but like in anything where there's a flank, like Reds are gonna go like 5-1 if they're decent. Like they're not really support because I don't think they're helping anybody else. They're kind of like you're out there on your own. Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, like a sword and board and a spear is a support because you control a lot of area with a sword and board or a spear. You're like denying things. But red is just purely DPS.
Yeah.
I agree with that. 1000%.
I think another big myth is that inherently because it's a red sword, it's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think that reds have a lot of like when red injuries happen or somebody gets cracked, it like it's like a plane crash. It's like, oh shit, that just happened. But like the potential for injuries from like things like arrows going backwards or like somebody shield bashing somebody to me is way higher. It just doesn't happen. There's just a lot of fucking red fighters,
Yeah.
so you just see it
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more, but I don't think it's
Honestly,
dangerous.
I get domed all the time by sword and borders.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I think the myth that I think is that you can't 12 o'clock with a red, because let me just tell you, I do it all the fucking time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my
Just gotta be-
opener.
I agree.
Like, nothing better than just like pump faking to the left and then hitting that right shoulder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Or
Just
shifting to the
practice
right,
it.
get an arm.
You do.
Yeah.
Like with anything else, practice it with somebody who doesn't care, like your friend. Like, hey man, we're probably gonna hit each other in the head, but you gotta learn this shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't throw 3 and 6 all the time. That's terrible. Like,
Well, you see people
how
that
are you
can't
throwing
do-
6?
Quit
Yeah.
12 o'clocking.
yeah, 3 and 9, I guess. Yeah, horizontal only.
Yeah.
Fucking
Damon, what's your myth you wish was dispelled?
Probably stuff we hit on. I think, especially with like when people talk about red injuries, I think a lot of the injuries with reds that people have witnessed or seen are usually newer fighters trying to take hold of a red. But like once you use it for a while, like I don't hardly ever see any serious injuries coming out of a red fighter who's been doing it for
Mhm.
a while. But like javelins, I've seen bust out teeth
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of new people with red swords believe that they have to like throw at 100% power to break a shield also.
Yeah.
And that makes every shot like that, and you don't need
Or
that.
if the person moves the shield and their like stomach's there, it's like, what are you hitting so hard? It's like,
I'm not. I'm
You
just swinging
did-
fast. That's what
Yeah.
Ryan says.
exactly.
easy there, Ramoan.
So Andy's asking, what are your left shot priorities? What are your highest percent shots?
Oh, that's a good question. Uh, Against another like a righty red, it's their right forearm. Like I'm trying to like go outside to forearm or open with that, and if they block it, then I'm in a watershed, and then I'm kind of comfort zone. A stab or the left shoulder of somebody, like getting crossing to a shoulder, or I guess yeah, shoulder, upper arm, or like on a sword and border. I try to feint the shield and go for shoulder a lot too. That's like opener. And if I have range on anybody, I'm going to leg, unless we're sparring, really.
Mhm.
Like anything like field fighting or tournament, I always like if you get somebody's attention up high, the leg is like guaranteed.
Yeah.
100%. Like don't forget about that just because you don't spar like that.
Andy was asking for clarification. Their left or your left for the shoulders?
So they're left as a righty because that's their shield, or that's the shoulder that is further back if they're red. So
Mhm.
I'm crossing to it out of like a watershed usually. Hopefully their attention is on the other side because that's where the sword just was. And then the shield, I'm just trying to feint it. Usually feint their shield out and go for that instead of trying to break it.
Luster is asking, any shout outs to any new up and coming red fighters you've seen?
That's a good question. H Ash down here. H Ash. What's the guy at the Lakeland practice? Fox, the lefty.
Diz? You just changed his game name as Diz.
Okay, Diz. Blue. Not really. They're not new, but they've gotten better real good recently. There's a lot of red fighters, dude. Like I feel like every time we go out, there's like 10 new fucking red fighters.
I'm not
Inspiring
about
all of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your fault.
I guess.
Right, so
Let's see. think that's we're up to date on questions.
Any more questions? While we're
Last
still-
call.
Last call.
We wrap it up.
Aaron's asking, what trait makes an average red fighter into a great one?
That's a good one.
That is a good question. I think somebody who understands why you died, because like Reds have like a special in-game damage. So like if you go out in a field battle, you're going to like have an effect just because that's what it is. But like if you understand why you died to a sword and border or why you died to a red fight, and then you adjust that and you stop dying. Like if you're what makes a good great red fighter is somebody who doesn't die to like noob sword and borders. Because until you're a really good red fighter, you'll just get run down and they'll spam A button. Like if you stop dying to like noob sword and borders or noob foo in general, it means that you like really understand fighting and you don't make stupid mistakes anymore. At least in my opinion.
I want everybody to answer that one. I think that's a really
Yeah,
good
for
one to
sure.
kinda hit on. Fox, you want to go ahead, and then Damon.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about throwing a shot to make another shot happen. I think that's a big turning point for a newbie into a more veteran. It's not just slam, slam, slam. It's slam to predict this return into the correct shot.
Yeah, mine's probably the same. Like, I know a while ago, Bell told me when I first started squiring under him to start thinking of fights in my head before it actually happens. So instead of fighting with Ultra Instinct all the time, you actually size up your opponent, see what they have. If I throw this, how am I positioned? What can they do? If they do this, what am I going to do? So basically, playing out a fight in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I know once you first start doing it, you'll probably die a lot because you're thinking a lot more. But once you get the feel of it, I think
It makes steam come out of my ears.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at too. I think understanding the returns of stuff is a very valuable thing as a red user, because like, you don't have to always be like 10 steps ahead, but again, like when I throw certain shots, I am looking for, two different responses. What happens if they eat it, and what happens if they don't? And I need to know what to do based off both of them, and I need to be able to do it in an instant. And if you kind of come into it not prepared for either one of them or just one of them, then you will get caught up in stuff. So I think that that is what will make you an exceptional fighter, is not just hitting the A button or doing a combo, but when you throw those things, know what response you're looking for and what you can get out of it, knowing the weakness of the shot, and knowing how to recover if for whatever reason you mess it up. So we got a couple of questions coming in last second, so we may have to burn through them.
Yeah,
Cool. Let's do it.
we got lefty spins, when and why.
Lefty spin to me is right hand on bottom still. And I learned that from Avias because he would swap. But to me it's good like when you're leaving, when it's the fastest, like when you're leaving, like exiting like a closer range, like basically resetting, and it's better to do that than to try and cross back in front of yourself. Or if a sword and board's closing on you, if you can time it right and you make a read that they're not just going to keep their hand, like if you think they're going to throw, as soon as they throw, you spin and catch it on your back shield, you pretty much always hit them in the hip. But yeah, or if somebody's coming up behind you, I guess, like in some
Yeah.
crazy field battle.
Aaron,
out their
didn't you
legs.
just post a TikTok about you throwing a lefty spin on someone?
And me?
Yeah. Didn't you just
It was
post a
a-
TikTok?
It was a righty spin, but it's. I mean,
No,
there's.
you hit into their sword side.
Is that what? Is that what
Yeah,
you consider?
right hand was down. Right hand was down.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did. Most of the people that I guess like my answer to spins, maybe not for lefty spins, but spins in general, is you want to find a way to get them to high cross you if it's a board.
Yeah.
You-
Yep.
Like that's your goal. So like what I do is I will post up with my sword, and I'll kind of leave it low so that it exposes this shoulder and it makes the person go, ooh, let me try to like press them and cross. So when you cross, guess what is exposed? Your hip. So
Yeah.
you leave your guard kind of low and you kind of have it set up. So I'll have like, this, but I'll keep it low. they'll see that, they'll swing for it, and as they do, I just go into the spin, and then their hip is exposed.
Yep.
So it is a
100%.
process. It is not just a throw it to
No.
throw it.
No. Yeah, I agree with that.
If you watch that video on TikTok, you'll kind of see how I set it up, but same kind of process. So
Yep.
plug in my TikTok.
Yeah, I spin mostly to get out of a
Yeah.
situation. I don't really
Yeah.
spin in much.
I mean, it should be a kind of like a way to get out, because you should be retreating. So most
Yeah.
of the times you are getting, somebody's pressing you and you're trying to do a quick response and move out. So makes
With the
sense.
buckler, sometimes I'll spin just to throw someone off since they don't expect it.
Yeah.
I
But
spin with buckler all the time.
it doesn't work very well.
Cool. Next.
We got what area do you feel that you need to improve on?
Me personally, my biggest problem, I think, is that if I am working on something new or focusing on something, my fighting kind of devolves into that thing. And it's like, wait, I forgot like these other three things that I do in this situation. Like it's a little bit of tunnel vision where it's like integrating it and then using everything is hard for me, where it's like, I like this shot and I'll just do that shot like for a month. And it's like, forgot about like the rest of the shit I do. So like sometimes it's a little bit like it's hard to integrate something new and not just do that, like to make it flow more naturally.
Kind of the same way, to be honest. It's like you get into that drill of like, cool, I need to learn this new thing, and you get so focused on trying to perfect that you kind of like, almost like you forget your normal like things that you
Yeah.
handle, like ways that you handle it. So
Yeah.
I get it.
I've been having a hard time actually initiating the fight, swinging first. So I've been trying to get into the habit of doing that more.
That's a
That's
good
actually in my brain when I fight you, just so you know.
That's fair.
one.
Like that is my like Fox loadout. If I'm fighting you, I'm like, okay, he likes for me to swing first.
Gotta make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most I've been trying to work on is a lot of footwork, and especially since
Always.
I fight a lot of sword and borders just because of where I'm at. So like Aiden at the past muster was chopping me up pretty well, so I just have to work on disengaging, getting a different block, especially with someone like Aiden who's just a lot quicker than a lot of people. And then I always got to remember, because I usually use the buckler, and I always forget. I'm like, when people charge me, I should meet them with aggression and knock them over.
Yep.
Because once you do that once, and everyone sees that,
Mm-hmm.
they're probably going to stop charging.
Yeah.
So.
All it takes is that one like body check, and if they just don't land it, then the next time they'll think about that before they do it again. And you win the fight at that point. If a board just sits back and lets you do your thing, then it's like, cool, game
You
over.
lose.
Thanks, appreciate the W. Have fun at spawn.
That's good.
Uh,
Oh shit.
So we got recommendations, a way to get out of your comfort zone so you don't plateau. I switch up weapons. Like if I'm plateauing real hard on red sword, I'll go to a bigger red, or maybe I'll do sword and board for a bit, do spear for a bit. And that usually helps me get a plateauing.
Yeah. I usually, one thing that has helped me is to like put a modifier for a long time. Like like when I first met Exa, he's like, take your back shield off. And like I didn't wear back shield for 6 months. I even went to Rag and didn't really use it. And you learn, like I learned how to like blade block way better, like block spears and like things like that. And like I remember Dak made me take death on leg for like a couple months, and it just improves your footwork because, or makes you block lower instead of letting yourself get hit or whatever, because you don't go down, you're just respawning again. So doing something like that, and not just for a practice, but like something that really makes your fighting suffer in some way helps.
Yeah,
No
I've actually been
shield.
switching it up too. At the must, I was using a lot of back shield.
Yeah.
There's a very good video on Damon's TikTok too. That's like
Yeah.
him ripping people a new asshole with a back shield on. I think no shield, like particularly with red,
Yeah.
removing the shield in any. It doesn't matter if it's a buckler or a back shield. I kind of had the habit of when I moved to Florida, I was very good at fighting boards, and I was not very good at fighting reds. I mean, like I could still do fine in a tournament and stuff, but that is not my like specialty. Like if I fight a red, I am not in my comfort zone. And so I wanted to learn how to fight red better. And let me just tell you, taking off your shield and just fighting with that red, I don't give a fuck if it's a min red or like a 5.5 or 6. Like you move the shield away, you will get better at
Yeah.
fighting with the red. Like it will.
Mhm.
I did it for a whole ass year during COVID. That is, anytime I fought, it was with that. Like it was no back shield, no arm buckler. You can always put it back on, but you
Yeah.
learn a lot from taking it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I
if you're gonna,
still forget that you can break shields sometimes.
I don't do that shit.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I hit a shield and I'm like, they're like, oh, one. I was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually tell my people I fight with, if I'm not yelling red when I'm swinging, I'm not trying to
Yep.
break a shield. So if it's
Yeah.
enough force for you, then take it, but I'm not trying to break it.
Mhm.
If you want to be a
Yeah.
dickhead, you'd be like, if I wanted it to be red, I would tell you it.
Yeah. You're gonna know because it's gonna be like a baseball bat.
You're gonna know because I'm so tough.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Lost Fox again.
Rest in peace, Papa Bless. He's back.
damn, that was quick.
Damn,
Oh, every
Alright.
time.
we got time for one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more good question.
Let's do it.
Any more?
You're asking about what was it? Physical exercises to be better at red.
I think that just, I mean, not just red, but in general, physical fitness will only make you better at Thaga here. If I'm fighting
Yeah.
Timo, whatever you're doing, like, it's, that's like such a broad question. Like,
Yeah.
best ex just being in shape, being healthy, whatever that means to you. Like, to me, it means like not drinking a lot of soda and like not eating a ton of fast food. Like, I haven't been to the gym in so long, but like, to me, like the basics, like squat, bench, deadlift, like just overall functional things, like picking stuff up or like pull-ups or things like that, like basic functional things that you would do, picking stuff up, not like curls or shit like that. That doesn't help you, but like functional strength, I guess, helps a lot. Helps like especially your back, keeping your back fucking strong will help you with fighting a lot. And stretching for sure. Your joints has helped
Steroids.
me. Also that.
Lots of them.
Yeah, make sure
All
you
of 'em.
stretch. That's especially when you get older.
We
I
got a
still-
quickie one from Wayward. Other than hand chops, what are your preferred information gathering opening shots?
Hitting someone's sword and seeing what they do. Like
Yeah.
blade beat for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or leaving an opening, a real obvious one, and seeing if they go for it. Like seeing how perceptive they are. Like drop your guard or something, or like chicken
Mhm.
wing your arm out. Like if they go for it, they're paying attention.
Mhm.
Fox, what's yours?
I'll pump a stab.
Yeah.
Damon?
Gary.
Probably a fake or even a step towards them. So if I go towards them, how are they gonna move their sword? Like if they're gonna pull their sword close to their body, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they go tip up,
Yeah,
go
tip
go
up.
go.
They should make a video about that, like for real.
I hate it. It's like the worst. I hate when I see it. I'm just like, nope.
Yep.
You could literally fight them like this and be totally fine
Mhm.
every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Tip up.
Like, what are you gonna do? Hit me in the dick?
Yeah.
I
Fair.
I would say I do this to figure it out. If this is my sword, I just do that and see
Yep.
how they react. And yes, my tip is up, but I'm literally starting it here and just whipping it around to be
Mhm.
like, hey,
Little
That's a
what are you
good
gonna
one.
do?
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
or a short return to their forearm, just like a quick like real shallow chop to just see if they attack real hard at it or if they're gonna just wait for me to swing like what it is. So.
I just had this little quickie poke. See if they get scared or not.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then I guess final questions mostly for Damon. But Lester wants to teach a class at Orc Wars. How do you do that?
Just post on the event page and we'll get with you. I know someone posted something else that we need to answer if it hasn't already been answered, but yeah. Just post it
Cool.
on the event page, then that'll draw some attention towards it. We'll of course hype it up.
Yep. Well, it is now 10:03, so
Yep.
that's gonna be it for Red or Dead. I want to thank
Hell yeah.
Ragefire for coming on here and telling us all the lefty secrets and entertaining us for 2 hours and stuff. But
Yeah, man.
Um,
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah.
awesome. It's our pleasure, guys. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for joining
Yep.
in. If you haven't subscribed, do it. Hit the like button, make a comment, do all the fun stuff, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. And the next
See you then.
episode will be on the 25th.
Nice.
25th.
2
Mark
weeks.
the calendars.
2-5.
2-5.
All right.